in these final days. Misinformation, unproven claims, often deliberately spread in many cases about alleged voter fraud, have run rampant, also notably on the internet, rather. And it's already laying the groundwork for Donald Trump and his allies to contest the election if they do come up short at the ballot box. For more, France 24's international affairs commentator Douglas Herbert joins me now on set. Hi, Doug.
Hi there.
So disinformation, of course, is not a new theme when it comes to recent elections, but it has become more sophisticated since 2020. Foreign actors seem to be more active than ever in their efforts to both pollute the landscape and also divide voters.
Absolutely. Not just foreign, but domestic. Look, the whole thing. Bill Adair, who founded an organization called PolitiFact back in 2007, the ultimate fact-checking network, basically says disinformation is now, in this election cycle, worse than he has ever seen it. When he founded PolitiFact, it was merely a matter of holding politicians and their speeches to account, taking things that they say and then rating them. Are they true, partly true, false, or pants on fire? It was a famous little rating they made up. That almost looks quaint by today's standards of judging politicians' statements in political speeches. The problem, he says, and others who are far more expert in fact-checking than myself in disinformation, say that it's now emotions and feelings which have sort of trumped, excuse the pun, facts. And that facts themselves, when you present voters, people with facts, I'm not talking about alternative facts, but the actual facts, the consensual facts, it is seen as, a fact could be seen as ideologically charged. They're not facts. They're subject to, do you have an agenda? What is that fact you're pushing on me? So it's, even fact-checking has become a suspect science for some. By the mere act of fact-checking, you sort of label yourself in the eyes of those who are not susceptible to believing facts as someone who has a politically motivated and ideologically motivated agenda. Now, look at some of the most blatant falsehoods, lies of this election cycle. Perhaps the most prominent, the ones that got the most headlines, were around the recent back-to-back hurricanes in the southeast of the United States, Helene and Milton. And what did we see in those cases? We saw literally conspiracies spread across the internet to the effect that these storms were created by Democrats in order to help Democrats with their electoral chances, that they cut a swath through Trump voting areas specifically, that they were actually created and formed by lasers, these storms, and sent just to create havoc to favor the Democrats, created by Joe Biden, presumably, and the Democrats. Now, that sounds, perhaps, you roll your eyes, you say, oh, that's outrageous. People are not going to believe that, obviously. And yet the fact of the matter is, because of the nature of disinformation today, because of the bubbles, the filter bubbles, and the places people get their information or misinformation and disinformation, as the case may be, they are so insulated from the outside world, so insulated from even having the reflex to look for or to question the information being fed to them in these filter bubbles, that yes, they do believe it. I'll remind our viewers that there's a good size of America, chunk of America, that still believes Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States. That was a quaint little lie, the birther theory, way back when. And they also believe Barack Obama's a Muslim, which he isn't. He's a Christian, fact. So anyway, disinformation, growing worse, and it's also being abetted by Russia, Iran, China, who are drawing on and even using Americans, Native Americans, to propagate information on their behalf, to sow distrust, discord, and doubts about the integrity of the U.S. election process.